The backlog, an ever-growing burden in my trophy hunting career. I think as of right now, I have a backlog of about 230-ish games, though with the new PlayStation Plus subscription, I'm sure that is going to skyrocket dramatically. I'm going to call this series the Backlog Buster. Today we're going to tackle 5 games that are currently on my profile that I'd like to sort of clean up in the next year or so. They're all absolute banger games, so join me as we look at that backlog. The love child of Dark Souls and a gun, this action RPG brings all the core systems of the Souls-likes into a range-based action RPG. You have your currency-based leveling, weapons and stat scaling, and big beefy bosses. Remnant is the kind of game fans of Dark Souls will enjoy. Unlike many of the genre-dwelling Souls clones, this game takes the proven formula and adds its own flair on top. Map-based semi-random generation means story progression is varied, with the player fighting specific bosses on one playthrough with different bosses on subsequent playthroughs. Trophy-wise, this game has all the grinding we have to come to expect from a Souls-like. We have our weapon upgrading trophies, armor collecting trophies, beating bosses without taking damage, side quests and boss killing trophies. Due to the random nature of the level and world generation, these may either be relatively quick or very long-winded. Looking at you, not so lucky and precious. 2 trophies that require the player to find an item within the worlds and deliver it to an NPC. As for Trophy Hunter favourite topic, DLC, Remnant sports 2 DLC lists, and in typical Symmetry fashion, I kind of haven't started either of them. Subject 2923 is a relatively short story-based DLC that has the player running through a roughly 4-hour campaign. This DLC is apparently ideal for the base game armor/currency collecting trophies, as it expands the amount of potential sets to collect, thus minimizing the need to run through multiple worlds, multiple times, praying a new armor set or a merchant pops up. Swamp of Corsus, on the other hand, is a doozy, requiring the player and a team of co-op friends to run through 10 waves of bosses, killing them under a time limit and with limited resources. This is the DLC I suspect will give me the most trouble. Started this banger of a game late last year on stream, over on Twitch, link in the description, and would love to knock this one off that dreaded backlog. Monster Hunter, an expansive online monster bashing simulator. This game has it all. Long dynamic boss fights? Check. Multiple expansive weapon styles? Check. A cat companion? Check. Long and RNG dependent trophies? Check. This is a trophy list that is diverse. You have your story trophies, your fishing, your capture trophies, and then there's the crowns. Both world and its standalone monster of an expansion, Iceborne, have a crown trophy. These monstrosities require the player to hunt and defeat each species of monster, and then pray to the RNG gods that said monster either meets the requirements for the largest crown or the smallest crown. Now, some of these crowns can be acquired by some act of mercy through quests. However, the bulk of these bad boys are obtained by a vicious cycle of loading into a map, tracking a monster, beating that monster into a pulp, and then hoping, praying that a crown drops. Playing this game taught me that I have very, very bad luck. For the base game, I have acquired the vast majority of the miscellaneous trophies. Iceborne, on the other hand, is its own beast with 39 hefty trophies left unobtained, abandoned, much like the dreams of maintaining a hairline. Jurassic World Evolution 2. How I loved you. How you hated my PS4 Pro. This zoo-building, visitor-devouring game ran so poorly on the PlayStation 4 that it actually killed mine. Nothing like the PlayStation 4 jet engine whirling up before the game has even made it to the main screen. But enough on how the game is technically. Us trophy hunters care about the list. Here we have a juicy ultra rare platinum on our hands, and this primarily falls down to the challenge mode. But what is challenge mode? Well, this is essentially sandbox mode but with different campaign objectives and a natural disaster every minute. Hope you like save scumming because a natural disaster could either be a slight rainstorm or it could be a hellish cyclone that releases the dinosaurs on your park visitors, plummeting that park rating faster than my completion rate anytime an Elder Scrolls Online DLC is released. The rest of the trophy list from the bit my PS4 Pro allowed me to play is relatively cruisy. You have to play through a campaign of sorts, which has the player build a park in movie locations with certain goals to be met, breed genetically altered dinos, and drive a car Grand Theft Auto style through your park. Overall, this was the toughest inclusion on this list. On one hand, I really enjoyed this game, but on the other hand, I really wanted to include City Skylines. And now that I'm thinking about the Chirpnado, well, maybe one day that'll trophy or pop for me. I'm about 400 hours AFK and counting. And now to give Outer Wilds some much deserved love. Outer Wilds is an exploration game set in an unknown galaxy, and that's kind of it, really. You play as a newbie explorer tasked with uncovering the secrets of a race that came before. To do this, the player must explore several honestly stunning planets, each crafted to be unique and memorable. From the shifting sands of the Twins to Giant's Deep and its anti-gravity tornadoes that will suck the player into space when they let their guard down. Oh, and you only have 22 minutes before the sun explodes. And then you're sent back to the start of your journey. Outer Wilds is truly packed with charm and highlight of my gaming this year. However, the trophies kind of suck. Some of them are relatively simple. You've met a terrible fate, tasks you to leave your ship whilst in space without a suit. If you're like me, this will occur accidentally multiple times in one journey. It belongs in a museum, has the player searching any of the planets and then returning an artifact to the museum on your home planet. However, some of the trophies are kind of rough. Archaeologist has you tracking down every lore log in the game, and there's a lot of them. A feat that is neither easy nor quick, typically requiring the player to scour each and every location of any logs that may have been missed, and you will miss many of them. Lastly, there is Hotshot, a trophy that requires the player to manually fly their ship to a station closely orbiting the sun. This straight up sucks. Yes, I am sure mastering the ship controls well enough to counterbalance the sun's pull is very satisfying. Good for you. But for most players, controlling this ship will be hard enough without a fiery ball of death and destruction sucking them into their demise. Overall, this is a game I look forward to returning to, primarily for its rich world building and environments. Outer Wilds is a game more than deserving of its spot as a priority game for me, and one I would highly recommend. It is an experience unlike any other. Last up, we have XCOM 2, a top-down strategic alien shooter where you are tasked to control Earth's last stand of heroes against a large unknown alien enemy. This game requires you to deploy a team of soldiers with a class combo of your choice and take out a squad of alien soldiers. These aliens come in a variety of different types, from the sectoids, small grey dudes who may mind control your units, right up to the powerful berserker who may hit you harder than Will Smith at the Oscars. These maps are plenty diverse, from urban dense environments to the crashed ruins of a downed alien aircraft. The player will have to use the environment as cover as they show those aliens that their half-naked sniper has zero mercy. This game has a platinum rarity of 0.68%, and it is well deserved. To nab those juicy trophies, you are tasked with completing a full playthrough of the game. And when I say a full playthrough, I mean like 5. Each difficulty needs to be tackled. An Iron Man Zero Soldiers Dying needs mastering. Beating the game in 1 3-month run is ridiculous. This is one where I literally had an Excel spreadsheet, and if I didn't get enough engineers within the first month, I restarted. It was very, very difficult. And then to polish it off, you do a run where you've got to do a playthrough without upgrading any weapons. Now, you might be saying, Symmetry, that sounds stuffed, but here is the thing. I have most of those trophies. I did a ridiculously stupid playthrough that combined nearly all of these into one run, and it was hell. I do not recommend this route. The only real trophy I need in this game, besides the DLCs, is simple stuff like completing the tutorial. Yes, I know, I have poor priorities. Alrighty, and there we have it. 5 games on the backlog that I'd love to clean up. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a cheeky subscribe. It helps a lot. Let me know that you enjoy the content, and I will see you guys on next week's trophy review. It's a good one. I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.